Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to put some games on this Atari Flashback. I picked this up at Menards online, and it does have 130 games on it, but you know, let's put some more on there. Why not? Some of the games you would like to play just won't be on this. This thing looks so much better on a modern television with HDMI. This does not have an SD card, so you have to add a USB cable to it. That's what we're going to do. I will show you how to upload all of the games to it and make sure that it's working. So let's get set up on the bench and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so to add a USB cable to this, I've got a small length here. I just cut this off an old mouse. Just about anything, but this cable will work. This is all the length I have, and you need to strip it. So I'm gonna take the outer sheath off here, and that'll expose our wires. We've got red, white, green, and black. And then there's this little metal wire right here. We don't need that. I'm just going to cut that off. And we just need to strip these wires. So okay, so now that we got our 4 wires, so here's a diagram I drew, and I've got a picture of this, and I'll show it a little bit more. But we're gonna use doing our work right here on this board. So we're going to skip this one. We're going to put the black here. We're going to skip this one, and then we're going to do green, white, and red. And that's all. So I've already got my iron going, and I want to tin these little wires here just to make things easier. So get some solder out here. I'm going to set this aside for a minute. So I'm just going to load up my tip, and you can flux these wires if you like. I'm not going to flux these ones. That's about all I'm going to do with that. And I'm using a chisel tip. You can see right there. That's what I'm using. So now that we got these tinned, let's get some of this stuff out of the way here. We'll bring our board back in. So we're gonna reference our layout here. We're gonna need black, green, white, and red. So I'm gonna try and put these kind of together like that. So I'm gonna lay them out, and I'm gonna attempt to put these in before I solder them. That way they're all together. This can be a little bit fiddly. So I'm just sticking it in the hole there, and load a little bit of solder on my tip. I'm just gonna touch it. So it looks like it's tacked on there. There we go. And you can use flux, which I have right here, and I'll go ahead and use some. So this is just the Kester 951 liquid flux. That's all it needs. And we'll grab this white wire. I know my hand's in the way. And we're just going to push that in the hole there. Okay. See if I can luck out and get this green wire in there as well. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at this, and I'm going to add just a little bit more solder to those. They look like they're tacked on good, but let's just make sure. Alright, that looks good. So this is what we got. Not sure how well that's focusing. That's what you want it to look like. So now we'll move over to the computer and we'll hook this up and do the next part. Once you have your USB cable soldered onto the flashback, you're going to want to download this ADB program. I'm using 1.4.3. Your version may be newer, but it should work the same. And you can just Google that and find it. So just double click on it. It'll bring up this little window here. We're going to select yes on all these options. And you do want to install these drivers. You just do next and then finish, and that goes away. So we're done with that. So now we can plug our flashback in to the computer with our USB cable, and we'll wait for the sound. And there we go. So Windows has recognized it. So we should see it in here. Let me refresh. There it is right there. So you can see it comes up like a little, I guess it's not an iPod, that would be a Zune. But this is your device. You can go in here and you can look at stuff, but there's nothing in here. You're not going to get anything in this. You have to run this ADB. So you're going to want to open an administrator command prompt, and let me I'm going to open this up while we're here. If you want to go ahead and make a copy of that or just make a note of it. So I've got a little cheat sheet that I put together. And these are all the commands that we're going to use. So we're going to start with this first one, ADB devices, and we can just cut and paste on these, or not cut and paste, but we can just copy and paste. So we'll copy, we'll put that in there, and we'll hit enter. This will start the service. And it found our device right there. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to copy the all-games.ini file, and we're going to use this command here. We'll just copy it, and if you look up here, you'll see that all-games.ini pop up in there. And there it is. And that's the file that we need to edit. So now is a really good time to edit this. And so I'm gonna stop right there. And we're gonna come down here, and this is what you need in order to get your games to work. I'll paste this down in the description below, just as a template. Now I'm going to be putting Crawl on here, and I do own this game. I own a lot of Atari games, and this is a pretty fun one to play. So I've got the ROM here. I've got the box art, and I've got my INI text here. So I'm going to open this up. So you can see I got this from the manual. So I'm going to copy all of this. Do copy. I'm going to close that. I'm going to open my all-games.ini. And these are all the games that are on your Flashback. Now this particular one is the Activision edition. So this one may have different games than what you have on yours if you just have the gold. I have a gold as well, and I've already done this with that. Actually added 56 games to it. So I'm just going to start down here, and you can see it looks like there's one space. I don't know if that's required or not, but I'm just going to paste my information right here. It is a little bit long on this one, but that's okay. And then I'm going to save it. So that's our all-games.ini. So we're going to need to put this back on the system. So this is where we were, so we pulled this. So next we want to run this. So this is going to give us permissions to make changes to the Flashback. So that's all it's going to do. There's no rebooting or anything. Next, we want to make a backup of the all-games.ini that is actually stored on the Flashback. So the one in this folder right here is the one that I just copied. That was the pull. So we're going to back this up, and we're going to basically, this is going to copy the all-games.ini, and the copy is going to be named all-games.bak. So we want to copy that. Okay. You're not going to see anything show up here yet because that's all done on the system. So this next one, we want to copy that backup file. And this is the command you use. So this is just a copy of the all-games.ini that's on the system. And since I've edited this one, this is my backup. If I need to restore this backup, I will rename this to all-games.ini. And I'll be able to push it out. But save this file. Put it on a Google Drive or a flash drive, burn it to a CD-ROM, another computer. You just want to save this file. So now you want to make sure that you've already done all your ROMs and your art. And you want to have them in this same working folder. And it doesn't have to be this folder. It can be any folder on your machine. You just want to make sure you're working out of it. And you can see here, I've got Atari Flashback 8 Gold. That's what I'm working with. So the file, so this file here, I'm going to go to its properties. If you go to details, you're going to see it has to be 214 by 300 on your pixels, and it has to be 24-bit. If it's 32-bit, it won't show up. It has to be 24-bit and it has to be that size. So if I open this up, you'll see this is what is going to show up on the Flashback. I guess I can move this down here just so you guys have it. So once we have that, and we have our ROM, notice how it's named. So we've got crawl.a26.png. So it has to have the same name as your ROM, just with a PNG after it for your art. So now we want to copy our game to here. So if I copy this, I'm going to put it in here, but I'm not going to hit enter. I'm going to backspace to where it says your game. I'm going to delete that. And since this is kind of Linux based, case may matter. I haven't tried it, but I'm just going to do crawl.a26. So this is going to push it to the Atari, and it's done. I'm going to hit my up arrow on my keyboard. It's going to bring up the command I just ran. I'm going to go back to here, crawl.a26.png. I'm going to hit enter. So now we have our games on our system. So next, I want to put this all-games.ini on there that I edited. So this is going to overwrite the one that's on the system. So we're going to push that out. It's pushed out. And so you have to do this to every game one line at a time. So if you're putting 100 games on there, you're going to do this 200 times if you want the box art. Now you don't have to have the box art. If you don't put box art on there, it's just going to be just a little white square. If you're going to do it, you may as well do it right. So this last command, once you're done, you don't forget to run this one. And this one is to put it back into read-only mode. So I'm going to copy that. And now the system's in read-only mode. So now we can't make any more changes to the system. So now we just need to plug it into your TV and find our game. So if you have any questions on this part, please put them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them best I can. And just remember, you're doing this at your own risk. I'm not going to be responsible for you doing this and bricking your system. So if you guys want a copy of this little cheat sheet I have, just let me know and I'll send you a copy of it. Just send me an email at jdpdoingstuff@gmail.com and I can get that to you. This part here for the INI file, I will go ahead and put that down in the description of the video, just so you guys can just copy it directly. Okay, so as you can see, it's working. I did put it all back together. I coiled up the USB cable and left it inside, and then just used some Velcro to kind of tie it up to stuff, just to, keep it tidy. And if I ever want to change games, all I got to do is take it apart and plug it into the computer. But anyway, so you want to test all your games, so we just put crawl on here. So I'm in the Atari section. You can go in alphabetical, whatever. But there's our game right there. This is all that text that we put in the all-games.ini file. You don't have to put anything in there. If you don't put anything in there, there won't be nothing there. Here's our box art. It's correct. Here's the physical. You know, it's a pretty good rendering of it. You just need to test your games. If you put 150 extra games on here, you gotta test 150 extra games. But some games won't work. I think Pitfall 2 is one of them. There might be a few other ones. Some of the repros won't work. Most of them will, but there are some repros that just won't work. So keep that in mind. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you're going to do this project. I'd like to hear your experience with it. Just take your time and everything should go fine. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.